Hey everyone, I'm Timmy Scott, and if you're new here, welcome. For my returning visitors, welcome back. As you can tell by the title of this video, I want to talk about what my tattoos mean to me. Now, there's no secret I've shown off my tattoos in some form or way in my previous videos. At least to me, I just didn't care in showing them off. So, I want to get into it. I want to give some tricks and tips on tattoos. Granted, there's a lot of videos out there, even from the artists themselves. They talk about it in their videos. But maybe you never come across those videos and you just came across mine. So I want to give you some tricks and tips. So let's get into it. So for me personally, when I got my first two tattoos, professionally done anyway, I had to really think about wanting to actually get it. I mean, granted, once I thought about wanting to get it, I'm like, I'm going to really enjoy having them. And I still do to this day. It's been about 6 years now since I got my first two. And for some people, it can be really addicting. And for some people, they just don't feel the adrenaline as much. So, the misconception people give about and express about tattoos is it's not physically hurting anybody. I don't see how a tattoo could physically hurt someone. When it comes to getting a tattoo, you have to really sit and think about that idea of the tattoo you're going to get. Even if you think there isn't a meaning behind the tattoo, there kind of really is, regardless if you think about it or not. You can say there's really no meaning and you just want to get it because it looks cool, because of the design and everything. But it still has some form of meaning behind it. For me, like I said, when I decide to get tattoos, I'm like really anxious. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to regret this. I really am not. And most of my tattoos I don't regret. There's at least like two I do regret getting, unfortunately. On my arm, there's one I do regret. And then on my leg, which I'm not going to show because everyone does things when they're young and stupid. Because that's what we do when we're young. We do stupid stuff. Even as an adult, we can do stupid stuff. But that's a whole nother long topic for another story time video, maybe. Anyway, like I said, I was around a group of people, and one of them was a really big guy. So, granted, none of my friends at the time did drugs. You don't have to be around people to poorly influence you. But anyway, this guy was a really big guy, and I couldn't say no. He encouraged the person that was going to give me the tattoo, and it encouraged me even more to do it and pressured me. I couldn't physically get out of the situation at the time. So I was left winding up getting it. Now, I don't hit myself over the head all the time, or at all, really. There's just days I look at it and I'm just like, man, I couldn't get out of this. But like I said, a lot of us do things when we're young that are stupid, and we wind up looking back at it, realizing it was. Regardless of how old we are now, we look back at things, even as adults. Like I said, that can be saved for another story time video, maybe. Anyway, like I was saying, you have to really sit down and think about getting it. Because if you wind up getting it on a whim, you might regret it. You've probably heard people talk about, oh man, I really hate getting this tattoo. I really wish I didn't get this tattoo. One of my other friends also, we don't really talk anymore as much, but he told me he regrets having this tattoo on his leg now because, well, again, he was young and stupid then. Like, again, for me as well. Anyway, that's the unfortunate part. You'll hear about people. They'll say they regret it and hate the fact that they wound up getting this tattoo and wish they never did. That's because they kind of went on a whim and just did it. Some people, also, there are some groups of people that will not regret getting a tattoo on a whim. There's just a couple of valid points of that for people in case you were curious into knowing about that. I wanted to bring that out because, again, it's a misconception people have when they look at someone with tattoos. And like I said, again, it's not really hurting anybody. I don't see how a tattoo could hurt somebody. The other person that says that. It doesn't. Now, for me, like I said, I would never put one in my eyes or on my face. It's just not for me. That's just my personal opinion. At least for me. I have a sister. I never bothered to ask or look, but from what I've been told and all that, she has a swear word on her arm. And she has to wear long sleeves to work because of that. So, but granted, regardless of what job that's like pretty high ranking up there that you work for, you have to cover it up regardless. Even if the individual themselves don't care, but because of that type of job field you work in, you have to cover it up. And when I got this Buddha tattoo here, pretty sure you can get a good clear see of it. When I got it, I wanted to get it before, but I couldn't because of the job I was working at. And I worked at a grocery store, where I had to wear long sleeves. Granted, there's another person who would literally have tattoos in her ears, which is kind of hypocritical, but it is what it is. She wound up still getting to the job and all that stuff. But anyway, there's just some jobs that are more strict on having people show off their tattoos than other jobs are. I mean, granted, in society now, it's pretty much accepted for the most part, but at the same time, still kind of frowned upon. Also the same for religion. I'll give an example. My first two on my legs that are professionally done, I got them when I was still living with my Jehovah's Witness dad and stepmom. In my head, I knew I really wanted it there, and I'm still happy I got it. But I knew I would have gotten instantly kicked out. And granted, though, back then you didn't have to be religious for people to look down upon on tattoos. But that was back then. And anyway, as I was saying, even religious people look down upon tattoos because it doesn't give them a good reputation, unfortunately. I mean, unless you're not religious, like I said, nowadays, more often than not, more people are, again, accepting it. Unless, like I said, also, you're working a job where they don't. Anyway, and then I got one here that says, not sure, it says, dreams. It's kind of stretched out, but that's because the older I was getting, the more slightly bigger I was getting. Not by much, but you get the idea. It says dreams, and it's by a band I really look up to. And I kind of wear a lot of them in my videos. They're called We Came as Romans. And I've done even a couple covers of them. I'm sure a lot of you obviously know how much I seriously love that band. And that's what most of my tattoos are covered on, or put on. And then this one, off one of their third or fourth albums, can't remember which one, it says, I am free to be everything you're not. And that has a deep message to me. Because for people who have followed me or known me for a while, know I really love that band and I take them seriously. Granted, regardless people like them or not, when someone says they don't like them, I take it really seriously. And some people just don't really say stuff like that when they say they don't like them, because they know how much I love them. Anyway, that's not the point. Like I said, I have a lot of We Came as Romans tattoos, especially the first two on my leg. When their second album came out, that's when I got it. And again, I knew I wasn't going to regret it, which I don't, but I got them because I really love that band. And I'm not even kidding. This one here, at first I did regret it. It says Boo Crew on it. I'm not sure how well you can see that, but it says Boo Crew. I mean, if I can do some photo editing with the video, I'll try to put them on the screen if you'll see it. I was really into this one band called Born of Osiris. And after I realized I didn't wind up liking them after that, for certain reasons, at first I did regret it, but someone who is in a metal band I'll try to show it the best I can, this mushroom eye called pre-incarnate. I'm not going to get too much into it. It's kind of a message, spiritual message. Almost forgot the word to it. It's kind of a spiritual message album. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with Barrier. And I'm friends with the drummer and the guitarist. More so, actually, I'm a pretty even mix of both. Anyway, I got it because I really like their music. I mean, not overly obsessed, but I like them to a degree. And then this one right here, even though it's kind of upside down, like I said, if I can try to get some video editing or photo editing, right there, it says 13 on it, with the ace spade, because I thought it was pretty cool, and I worked on the 13th floor at the job I worked at for 2.5 years. I put that there because one day I thought to myself, maybe I'll get this tattoo in honor of the job I worked at, the floor I worked on, my favorite number. Usually 13 is a myth, and you don't really see that a lot, but I worked on that floor, I love that floor, and now I'm still glad I got it. I also, for my 25th birthday, I stayed on the 13th floor, ironically enough. I was really, really drunk and signed the waiver that I confirmed the hotel I was staying at for my birthday in downtown Chicago, the Hard Rock Hotel. Still had the memory in my head. And went upstairs, opened the door, and just passed out after that. I mean, I don't really drink so much to begin with, but when I did, I'd get a little drunk, obviously. Anyway, doesn't matter, not the point. Like I said, I just went in my room after I signed my waiver, as drunk as I was, went upstairs and just passed out. Everyone has moments like that. So, anyway, again, like I said, not the point. Just a quick little story. Anyway, another one is a Peace Pisces tattoo. I got a little creative with that idea because astrologically, I never know where I really honestly fall under. People could tell me, oh, you're a Pisces, you're an Aquarius cusp Pisces. I don't really know what the real answer is to it. I always try to figure it out, but I can never really honestly know. I think I fall under a mix of both because my birthday is February 19th, 1991, and I was born at 11:57 p.m. My mom was hoping I was born the day after the 19th because her dad was born the day after me, ironically enough. At least that's what she was hoping for. And I was born premature, but that's totally something different. Anyway, not sure how well you can see it, but this symbol right here, again, another We Came as Romans tattoo. And this time it's an artwork design off there when Hope came out. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with them, which I'm pretty sure a lot of you are. This symbol right here is to symbolize hope. And again, I really love that band. I told you I was not kidding when I said I did. Another one is this. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with this guy here, Invader Zim. I'm still happy I got it. The artist who put this on me, or at least the outline of it. So here's a little story about this. With the full sleeve you see here, I want to finish the rest of my arm, but I haven't gotten to it yet, and I'd really like to, but again, haven't gotten to it yet. With Invader Zim, this is Invader Zim. Like, literally, this character is Zim. And I know a lot of you who are watching this are familiar with that show. It was really underrated, yet really popular. Kind of a mix of both. I really enjoyed that show. So, back when I lived in Chicago, I lived literally not too far from the tattoo artist, like across the street practically. So I could be able to walk there at the time. And we were coming up with ideas for my biomechanical arm. And that's what the rest of this like whole wraparound sleeve is a biomechanical arm. Came up with the idea, and he's like, "You like Invader Zim, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah," and he did, because he liked it too. So I went with the idea, and I'm still happy with it, how it came out and everything. But the unfortunate part, this is where he did the mushroom eye one. Sorry for the weird angle. I'm filming on my phone, which I do with a lot of my videos. He did the mushroom eye one, and did at least the outline of the Invader Zim. And when I wanted to go back to finish the rest, he bailed on me. I was kind of in disbelief, like wondering why he would shade out on me like that, but we'll never know. I'm left on an edge, not ever knowing why he bailed on me. So I had to go to, thankfully, the same artist that did this one, and this one I'll get into in a minute, but the same company or tattoo parlor I would go to helped fill out this. And not sure how well you can see it, but this one here, it's an eye, and it's short for I See Stars. There's a lot of stories behind I See Stars and We Came as Romans. But not something I'm going to really talk about. I mean, granted, it's nothing bad, but just something I'm not going to put out there. But they're another Detroit-based metalcore band. They've got an element of electronic dance music along with their type of music they put out, and I know a lot of you are familiar with that for those who listen to that type of stuff. But anyway, like I said, I got it because I just like the style to it and what they put out. Even though the vocalist is a few years younger than I am, but it doesn't really matter. Maybe one day he'll see this. Hopefully, maybe, I don't know. If it's shareable enough, it'll get to him. But anyway, like I said, the same company, or tattoo parlor anyway, helped cover the rest of my biomechanical arm. And I couldn't be any more happier. I would like to finish the rest of this arm, and then start on this one. Obviously, there's no space here, so I'd like to do that one day, when I can afford it. Because another thing about tattoos, sure, a lot of you already know this, but I'll say it anyway. It can run from anywhere from $40 or $60 or even $80 to a couple grand, depending how well you want to do it. But it comes in sessions too. Some people will go all the way in and take 36 hours, which I could never do. Or some people will go every few weeks to go there until they get their tattoo complete. Another one I want to show you is the Bring Me the Horizon tattoo. And I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with them by now. Granted, they were a deathcore band at one point, and then eventually went mainstream. Like, literally, they went from this local United Kingdom band to mainstream. I guess that's what happens when you get bullied. You wind up getting something in a major favor in return. And a lot of people love the band. I do too. Granted, I was more of a deathcore fan at the time in high school, but that's besides the point. Like I said, the Buddha tattoo, because, and I've addressed this in my previous videos, that I didn't know where I fit with my beliefs, what I wanted to believe. And short descriptive, I'll try to make it. I thought I felt comfortable in Buddhism, and I love Buddhism with the message they put out and what they believe. Pagans are a little similar to it, and that's what I love about paganism. I'd like to get a pagan tattoo, but right now, again, like I said, I can't afford it. So I'm still happy with my Buddha tattoo, because like I said, Buddhism and paganism both share similar beliefs. And that's why I got them, because I'm happy with it. Anyway, I think this is my last one. It's a wait, I'm thinking of my other arm. This is an Illinois local metal band. Again, another Illinois local metal band, I'm sure a lot of you remember, is Youth Forever. And they were considered, before they broke up, noisy street metal. The vocalist was really awesome, and he let me share the stage for once. Well, I had my first experience being on stage. Granted, I thought I screwed it up. I felt really awkward and everything because I didn't know there was going to be a timing and everything, but he thought I didn't do bad, and he was just thinking why the microphone wasn't working. That's all he was kind of concerned about. That's all his concern was. He thought I did a good job, and so did my friend in the other Illinois local band did. They both thought I did a good job. For me, I felt really self-cautious or conscious because the microphone, not only was the microphone working and I didn't know my cue, but again, the vocalist didn't put too much thought into it, and neither did my friend in the other Illinois local band. So, yeah, that's pretty much my tattoo experience. For me, I have no regrets getting them, except for the only two that I had talked about. And that's what I wanted to talk about to people who might be curious. There are some people that get like a full bodysuit tattoo, even as skinny as I am. Granted, I'd like to do that, but because I have back problems, pretty sure a tattoo artist could explain it, but for me personally, at least at the moment, I don't see myself ever getting a back tattoo right now because that's just something I'm not ready for yet, and I don't think I'll ever will be, unless I'm overthinking it and I can get one. But in the meantime, most of the tattoos where I want to pretty much cover my whole body, I can't get them yet. And obviously, I can't afford it as much as I'd like to. And like I said before, me personally, I'm not the one to get an in-eyes tattoo and a face. That's just not my personal preference. I mean, granted, I didn't think people would ever get eye tattoos, like literally in their eyes, in their pupils. I mean, at least for me, I would never see myself ever wanting to do that. Along with the face one. For me, it just not my thing. That's just me. Neck, unless I have a job where I can't show them off, I'd like to do parts of my neck where it won't hurt. There are certain places that hurt, but again, I'm sure there's videos on the type of pain and stuff like that. For me, should have also added this when I talked about it in the beginning. When I get tattoos, I like to look at them as an adrenaline rush for me. It really does physically take out a lot of the anxiety that I have. It really does help with my anxiety when I have decided to get a tattoo. At least for me, and that's my personal preference. Like I said, there are misconceptions that people have to look at tattoos as a bad thing, but now more often society is starting to accept it. And that's a good thing, unless you're in a religious cult. And we all know about that. For maybe my ex-Jehovah's Witness friends, do you have a tattoo or a couple? Leave them in the comments. I'm sure some of you do. Maybe not. Maybe this will help you decide if you want to get one or not. Oh, I was also going to add, I also got this one when I was living with my dad also. But I had to put it up high up enough where he never saw it. I even go in the bathroom in the Kingdom Hall to check on it right after I had just gotten it and see how it looks and stuff like that. But anyway, that's my story. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, most of my tattoos are We Came in Romans tattoos because I really love that band and they know how much I love them and they love me just as much in their own way. But a lot of them love me in their own way. So, and that's a really cool thing to look at. Might show a picture of the one on my chest. Haven't decided yet. You'll probably see it maybe. I don't know yet. But anyway, with that, hope you enjoyed this video. I might, if I decide to do my arms, I may make a video on the rest of that. I don't know yet. Well, only time will tell. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, leave it a like, hit that like button to blue, hit that red subscribe button down below. It only takes 3 seconds of your time. Leave me a comment. What do you think about tattoos being now accepted? I'm glad they are. It keeps people from having to hide them at certain jobs. At least I think so. I mean, since it's not hurting anybody, it shouldn't matter if someone has a tattoo or not. As long as they're happy with it, like I am with a lot of them, shouldn't really matter. So, again, I know there's ex-Jehovah's Witnesses out there who support tattoos and stuff like that, so, yeah, not sure what else to put in my outro. Anyway, this video, maybe I'll dedicate it to Dylan. If you're watching this and you made it to the end, leave me a comment. I don't know. Just felt spontaneous, I guess. YouTubers like to rant and be about anything. I don't know where this outro is really going. Anyway, like I said, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button to blue for you. Save this video to your favorites. Share this channel around with your friends and family on social media. And I know a lot of you have social media. Shouldn't be hidden, and I know you guys share my channel. So thank you for that. Turn on post notifications, if you so desire, for your viewing pleasure. And with that, not sure when I'll come back on again. Maybe soon, maybe on my birthday, for my surprise. Yeah, running out of ideas for my outro. With that, I'll see you guys in the next video.